trip.
Really? Where?
The Galaxy Car Race!
I'm just gonna address the elephant in the room. The last two entries on this list are both special episodes. Why? Well, let's talk about them. It's about Nobi and the gang getting invited to a kart race. A bunch of characters from one series getting invited to a kart race. I wonder where I heard that one before. Jokes aside, I honestly think that this would be a really good game if it actually was a Mario Kart clone. But anyway, let's actually talk about the actual episode. I absolutely love the characters in this episode, both the one-off and the main characters, including Nobi and Doraemon, who, I'm not gonna say how, but they get very emotional midway through the episode. And I gotta say, the animation and design for this episode is so unique and I love it. The settings for the locations look so detailed, it actually feels like you could actually be there right now. I absolutely love the writing in this special as well. I think that the tone takes a dark turn at the middle part of the episode and that the jokes are actually still really funny. Everything about this episode just makes me happy. I love this episode so much. In fact, it was originally going to be number 1 on my list, but I felt like there was one episode that deserved it a lot more. But overall, I think this is probably my favorite episode from Season 2 and probably my favorite special from Season 2. And that's saying a lot because there are around 4 to 5 specials in Season 2. Out of all the specials, I think that this one is probably the best because this episode has the best design, animation, writing, and of course the best character interactions.
Did Nobi drop that? It's why he wants to win so badly. So he can buy you those expensive cat ears you were trying to make.
If he's willing to do all this for you, then you must be a pretty great friend to that kid.
Yeah? You think so?
Yeah, but don't get cocky about it.
Now before I reveal my number 1 pick, I'm just going to list off a few honorable mentions. The Little Adventure. I honestly think that the episode would have been a solid number 3 or 4, but I want to limit one special per season. So, as much as I like this episode, sorry, it's not going to be on this list. A Visitor for the Future. Same as The Little Adventure. Battle of the Dueling Nobis. Nothing really special to say about this episode, just relaxing and funny. Also, this is one of the only episodes that acknowledges that Nobi doesn't even know why he's friends with Big G and Sneech.
Why am I friends with them?
All the way from the future world. To be honest, I kind of felt like this episode was ruined. And I highly doubt it's for the reason you're thinking. It's actually because, well, if you see my community post, you know that I saw the Japanese version of this episode. And after seeing the Japanese version of this episode, I honestly felt like the episode was just ruined for me. Don't get me wrong, the episode itself is not a bad episode. I still think it's a decent start to a series. But the Japanese version was just awful, to say the least. If this is how the episode was going to be in the US, I would put it up there with I Saw a Ghost as one of the worst episodes of the series. And honestly, like I said in my community post, thank Bang Zoom that the episode did not turn out as bad as it originally was.
なんだ、いるじゃねえかよ。
心配させて。
返してもらうぞ。なんかもらって帰りたいぐらい。ねえ、何の騒ぎ？なんで帰ってきたんだよ。なんでとはなんだ。心配してやったのに。なんだよ。なんだよ。もうちょっと私ももらうぞ。
After seeing a time capsule getting buried up after 20 years, the gang decides to make their own time capsule.
Yay! I'll get gamer cards.
And I'll bring a sample of my sweet vocal stylings.
I'll put in my journal with all my thoughts in it.
And I'll go ask Doraemon for something strong enough that will keep it all safe.
Nobi finds Doraemon's old time capsule and decides to use it as their time capsule. But however, it goes 100 years into the past.
Nobi, didn't you ever think it might be a high-tech device from the future? That time capsule was a real time machine.
And this is a problem how?
If you set it to red, it goes back 100 years. On blue, it'll go 100 years into the future.
Yeah, still not getting it. more stuff's in there!
This leads Nobi and Doraemon to have a little journey to go and find the time capsule. That doesn't last very long. So to put this gadget to use, they decide to send it to Sobi. However, Sobi was just born at that time.
Sobi would have just barely been born by that time. We sent the capsule to a baby.
So that's why Nobi sent it to Doraemon. Nobi also sends a picture of the two of them together. But since Doraemon looked a lot different compared to when he was born, it's not gonna turn out right for him.
I still had a set of ears when I was born, and my body was yellow. Oh, if I knew I was destined to look like this, my newborn self would never get over it!
You had ears?
It was the shock of losing my ears that made me turn blue. But if I'd known in advance, it would have been worse. I'd have turned purple!
Okay, one flaw I do have with this episode is that the first part where they go to the past wasn't necessarily, well, necessary.
Hey, it's a work in progress.
Although I will admit, that part really was a bit of fun. And this episode only gets better when we get to the future. Not only there are a lot of jokes in here that make me feel like I'm going to piss myself, not only it focuses on two main characters that, well, work well off each other, but the best part of this episode is the bond between Doraemon and Nobi. Do you want to know how strong it is in this episode? Well, they almost die in the incinerator, and they still won't make it out alive unless both of them make it together. That right there is true friendship.
Listen, leave me behind and save yourself.
You know I won't do that.
But I'm just a robot. You can replace me.
I told you I won't do that.
Just leave me here!
But I don't wanna.
I think the second half of this episode is where the show really shows its true emotions, and that's what I love to see. That's honestly what brings this episode up for me. It shows its true emotions at the perfect time and the perfect way. Also, I'm just gonna be honest, the ending made me cry, honestly.
Happy birthday. Signed, your best pal forever. Huh? Your best pal forever? Huh? Yippee! I got a birthday card and a pal! Now I remember it. It was that note that made me so happy on the day I was born. A note from my best pal. Birthday!
Everything you've seen on this list, I think that this episode definitely captures it the best. And by everything, I literally mean everything. From the comedy to the storytelling to, obviously, the characters. It's all done in the best way it could possibly be. And I think that's why this episode works astoundingly. And is why this is my #1 favorite Doraemon episode of all time.
Thanks, Nobi.
Anytime I can do something stupid that makes you happy, I'm there.
Well then, it's nice to be making another top 10 like this. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and give it a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe to Super Hat 15 to stay up to date. As for old viewers, keep on watching, and I'll see you Super Hat fans later. I hope you guys have a really good day, and thanks for watching.